Liberation Maiden.
Kaihou Shoujo.
Yeah, also known as Kaihou Shoujo. This was originally a weird shoot-'em-up for the Nintendo 3DS, created by Suda of all people.
So, that means this will be our first video review for a 3DS game?
No, the original Liberation Maiden gameplay had you punishing the touchscreen of your video game, and since I don't hate my Nintendo 3DS yet, we shall review the visual novel sequel instead, Liberation Maiden Sim, for the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita.
Wait. Suda 51 made a visual novel?
For better or for worse, it seems Suda was not as involved in this game development as most people think. In the credits, he only appears as the creator of the original game for the Nintendo 3DS, which is why this game was developed by Maiden.
Whatever. This episode will use the good cop and bad cop system, but who cares? Everyone thinks our voices sound the same. So, no one will notice which one of us is the bad or good guy anyway.
Come on, don't be like that. I have good news. I've been feeling really sick these days, so my voice sounds like shit.
Really? Wait a minute. Are those good news?
Let's go, everyone!
Round 1. Fight!
The main character is Kaido Kyoto, who is childhood friends with the main character from the previous game, Ozora Shoko. Thanks to his high marks and achievements, he becomes the chief aide working directly for the president of New Japan, which means he's acknowledged by many people who have high expectations of him. Yes, he's really intelligent and reliable, but it's not just that. He can also read the qualia from people's words, which means he can basically read people's minds. But he can only use those powers at specific moments. This is also one of the main reasons why he was assigned for such an important task. And this is also one of the main mechanics in the game. You have to pay attention for whenever a yellow colored word appears during character dialogues. By pressing the triangle button, you will read the true intentions behind those yellow words, and this will change the course of the story. Kaido can use his abilities to dive into people's memories and get new information. But he can even dive into his own mind to organize the data he already got. That's right, as opposed to the aerial combats with mechas from the first game, the plot in this sequel focuses on investigations and conspiracies, which everyone knows are the best things to go with when you want to make a serious visual novel.
Round 2. Fight!
Do I need to remind everyone who played the first game about who Ozora Shoko is? She is the president of New Japan! You heard it right! A teenager who is around 16 is the freaking president! Like this wasn't enough, she forms a senate, known as the Six Super Geniuses, composed entirely of little girls about Shoko's age. Their abilities are too over the top! The writers have really gone overboard on how awesome those chicks are. Look at this bitch! She knows over 170 different languages! And how about this brat? She's the Minister of Justice, one of the most important members of the Senate. In fact, she's much smarter than older politicians who look like a bunch of dumb apes next to her. Oh, but don't forget, she's only 12 years old and she uses cat ears all the time, even during constitutional conventions, debates and meetings. Not to mention, she likes to be called Chiru Chiru.
Chiru Chiru-san?
And when she is happy, she goes Nyu Nyu.
Nyu Nyu?
Speaking of cat ears, there is also this super soldier who is supposed to be like a female big boss. She also never takes her cat ears off, and she even adds a super mini skirt to her equipment. She is responsible for all the troops in the nation. This is all so stupid. You're supposed to take this seriously. Like this wasn't enough, those little girls are also mecha pilots who fight alongside Shoko in the war against Dominion.
Round 3. Fight!
Okay, I did say the main focus is at the investigation part, but it doesn't mean there are no battle scenes with mechas, even though you almost never see the girls fighting, because you have to control the protagonist. During those battles, Kaido is on the main bridge and he needs to give the right commands for the heroines. If you choose the right commands, you get the best outcome at the end of each chapter, which comes to show how capable and important the main character is. And about the 6 new girls, you should know their abilities come from a special phenomenon everyone in the country has, called Mystical, which originates from the magnetic energy emitted by the guardian beasts, giving superhuman abilities for those who... Know what? You are right about this one. Those chicks are really stupid.
Round 4. Fight!
Speaking of stupidities, there is also this stupid gaijin.
Beautiful! Elegant! Thank you! ここは Thank you と言うしかないね。はは。Oh, 言うじゃない。なかなか言うじゃない You!
He's just like those stereotypes from Majoko Iniki.
Oh, my baby! I love you, pretty sister girl! ありがとうございます Very, very pretty sister girl!
His name is Oscar Oldman.
Oh, 光栄か光栄だね
He's an incompetent aide working for Shoko's rival, Sakunda Nagisa, who is yet another cocky brat. Which reminds me, whenever there are politics in this story, it gets stupid. They need to vote for everything, even to decide if they should resist a ring of kamikaze attacks and a freaking giant monster. Mages is trying to be too smart for their own good. And you may be right about how interesting those dive scenes are. But don't forget about the neurotic device Kaido uses to help him. Shin!
俺様の出番が来たようだな
Look at this little shit! He's a total ripoff of Ted from Persona 4, and he's really annoying. One more thing! When you don't select the right choices, you get a horrible bad ending, where usually Kaido is punished or killed for his mistakes. Wait. Never mind, those are actually pretty cool.
Round 5. Fight!
Alright, now it's finally time to talk about the points I like the most about this game. This round will be filled with spoilers, so if you want to skip this, you can press this skip button right now. Liberation Maiden scene is merciless. You can just forget about things like cuteness is justice and I forgive you because you are cute. Those things are really usual for Japanese mangas, animes and games, but not here. In this game, everyone who makes mistakes is heavily punished with death or even worse stuff. It just doesn't matter if it's a little cute girl. Starting off with those 6 super geniuses. Only 2 among them were actually good human beings. And one of those 2 died because she was too nice to fight in a war. On the other hand, all the remaining 4 betray Shoko in some way. They either try to kill her, or they just end up doing some other terrible things. Like this crazy Yuri chick, who is obsessed with Shoko. She hates men, and causes trouble for every male working for Shoko, including the protagonist. She eventually is able to redeem herself, but she still suffers a lot. This proves that letting a bunch of cute girls running the whole country was a really stupid idea. In the end, only 3 of the 6 super geniuses survive, and one of them has to stay the rest of her life in jail, while the other 2 get fired. Ironically, in the place of those 6, Shoko forms the 6 super veterans, and she only keeps being the president because she saves the day in the end. And that's not all! Even Shin doesn't go unpunished. Actually, his punishment is one of the best. By the way, Oscar was actually a badass.
口だけだと思ってたかい甘いな私は常に予想を裏切るミラクルを生む男だ
He was just acting like an idiot to fool the villains. He was actually helping Kaido from the shadows.
ミラクルをお見せできて嬉しいね
And he even saves his life by kicking the ass of a killer.
の危ない見たか正義の力を
ゴールドマン大使、よく気づいた。
当然ってやつだ。私はステイツで あらゆるカンバーテクニックを習得しているからね。
And one more thing, Shoko's real biggest rival for the elections is actually Azuma Mutsumi, who is this cool and admirable dude.
Winner.
Okay, overall this game is excellent. Unpredictable outcomes for an interesting plot and great gameplay. This is a visual novel that makes you feel like you're actually interacting with the game. I always love when a visual novel does something more to its gameplay. While this is not too different from selecting the right choices, they did it in many different ways that make you think in order to win. Unless you use the walkthrough.
I used one. The game was still hard. Fuck you.
Anyway, it's a real shame this was never localized. Fans of the 3DS game would probably enjoy this title.
That was great! For the next episode, let's review another console-only Gal game. Those are the best!
Nah, if you say so. But now I'm tired. Let's watch something else.
Kaihou Shoujo とは平和を愛し、友情を信じ、人の命を守るため大国に立ち向かう決勝特別救急警察隊のことである。